Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. So, today I want to talk about feeling overwhelmed with the current state of the world. This has been a topic that I have been wanting to talk about with you guys. And has taken me a little bit of time to feel ready and not really in it, as I'm sure many of you can relate. But before we begin, taking a deep inhalation and allowing yourself to just be here for these next few moments. I know for myself, particularly recently, watching the Amazon burning, hearing of all the mass shootings in the US, all the examples of racial inequality, gender inequality, it can feel so overwhelming. Especially if you are a light worker, whether you call yourself that or not. If you are watching these podcasts, pretty sure you might be a light worker. And honestly, a light worker is just somebody who's, if you are trying to live your best life and make the world a little bit better and trying your best to be a good human and be kind to others, that is someone who holds the light. And if you are that kind of person, then you're also sensitive. And witnessing what's going on in the world can make you feel scared, hopeless, angry. And what I want to kind of talk about today is we have a choice whether we are going to succumb to those feelings or rise above. And if we succumb to those feelings, then the darkness has won. So what can we do instead? I think first, it's important to look at what's going on in the deeper level. So, just the examples that I gave, the Amazon burning, fires started by people with intense greed, mass shootings done by white nationalists who are just so in the grips of fear, misusing power, and so much hate. And when you look at what's going on with those people, they're just so deep in the grips of fear. They have allowed themselves to fall so deep into their limited beliefs that there is no other way but to use power, hate, greed, for their survival. They feel that there's no other way of surviving. They are so afraid in their subconscious that they convince themselves that the only way to survive is through acts of power and hate. Now, I'm not justifying at all what has been going on, but it is important to see what the true cause of these actions are. Because it is important for us to also hold compassion. Now, that might sound a little bit strange, but bear with me for a minute. You have a choice right now to let these acts make you fall into the grips of fear, anger, hopelessness. But what we need to do to hold the light is to be able to hold a level of compassion for these people and what's going on for them. But compassion does not mean condoning. It's a level of understanding. But compassion can look like saying, no, that's enough. Compassion doesn't always say, oh, that's okay, you keep going. Not even for a second. But when you stand in your own light, when you know what is the truth of diversity and acceptance and appreciation for our planet, when you stand with 2 strong feet in that place, then you know that saying no is the right thing. The important thing to know also is that in our world, there is only contrast and clarity. Contrast is a way of summarizing anything that is undesirable, uncomfortable, what we don't want. The point of experiencing contrast as a human on this planet is so that we can get to the clarity on the other side. Now, this could be for individuals in their lifetime, but it can also be for the collective. So right now there are these examples of collective contrast that's going on in the planet. And why I say that is because we can use this contrast right now as a way to get to the other side of sort of collective clarity, of peace and harmony, ease and grace. But if we sit here in the contrast and allow that contrast to fall even deeper into our own contrast, then there is no way that we will find the clarity on the other side. And I say that also to give hope, because there is the possibility of clarity on the other side of this. So when you are starting to feel overwhelmed, perhaps hopeless, scared, even angry, anger is in our society, an uncomfortable emotion. But actually, it is a call to action. Your spirit is saying something's not right here, and either we need to change our perception or we need to take action. I think it's safe to say that if you feel the same way I do, that our perception is not necessarily what needs to shift, at least not in what we know is right and true. Perhaps the perception of hopelessness, that certainly can be shifted, or the perception of there's nothing I can do here. So I want you to, instead of allowing the anger to take you down, to push you either into a space of denial because you can't handle it, or into a space of overwhelmment, feeling overwhelmed, that it pushes you into action. What can we do? And sure, maybe we can't actually go and dump water on the Amazon, and maybe we can't go and stop that shooter. But what can we do? As light holders, it is our job to hold the light, to collectively hold the light even brighter than we have before, because the collective darkness is so intense. So what does that even mean? So in your day-to-day, it could look like saying no to any acts of hate that you witness. Standing 2 feet in your light and saying no, that's not okay. Standing up for those that cannot stand up for themselves. When we think about collective vibration, the highest emotions in our vibrational ladder is that of love, appreciation, joy. So it's almost like our duty is to hold that vibration, to really get into that space every day of appreciating all the things that we do have, even appreciating the uncomfortable moments so that we can discover the clarity. Now, I know that when the world, it feels like the world is crumbling, that getting into a space of love and appreciation and joy can feel wrong. It can feel like we don't deserve it. It can feel, can bring a real sense of guilt. And what I want you to understand is that if you fall into a space of guilt and succumb to the anger and fear, then you are dropping and adding to the darkness. So in fact, see it as your duty. If you are in a position where you can hold a space of appreciation, love, joy, generosity, then it is your duty to hold that vibration as much as you can. Holding that space of compassion while saying no, this is not okay. And there is a huge difference between intentionally holding that space of appreciation to being in denial. Being in denial might look like, wow, I just can't even handle thinking about that, so I'm just going to distract myself with something else. Well, it's not my problem, so I'm just going to, keep going on with my life. There's nothing I can do. No, it's fine, whatever, it's going to sort itself out. That's denial, and that is totally different to, yes, I see it, and I am intentionally choosing to hold my vibration in appreciation and love. Yes, I see it clearer than ever. And with 2 feet firm in the ground, holding that light, I'm saying enough is enough. It's not easy when we, are talking about this and thinking about specific examples. I mean, even for me, just talking about it, it's not easy. It can get the better of us as emotional beings, and it crushes me to think about all the pain. And so that's why I really wanted to talk to you guys about that today, and to encourage all of you to stand up and hold that light during these times of crisis, to come together. Energetically, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. If you are holding that higher vibration, you are doing it for everyone. So I hope that's been a little bit helpful for you guys, perhaps while feeling as overwhelmed as I am, witnessing what's going on. And I will be there with you. The army of light, I will be there, standing there with you guys, holding the light. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. Please, I encourage you to send me any questions or thoughts. My website is NicoleBridger.com. You can find me on Instagram, Nicole Bridger, and feel free to write a message and let me know what you're thinking and feeling. And I look forward to being with you again. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.